not my law, it's not the council's law, it's not the mayor's law, it's not the attorney's law, it's the state law, and we have to comply with it. There's two readings. On the first reading, which will be tonight, is an introduction of the ordinance. There is no public hearing on the introduction of the ordinance. The vote that will be taken by the council tonight is to simply introduce the ordinance. The public hearing and final vote on this ordinance will be in 2 weeks on March 12th at 7 p.m. in this room, and there will be a public hearing before the final vote. The reason for that is that in the ensuing 2 weeks, the township is obligated to notice the community in the newspaper with the date and time of the hearing and the ordinance, and it gives everybody ample time to actually read the ordinance and become familiar with it so they know what they're going to speak on. I just again want to be clear, we're going to introduce it this evening. We're going to, there'll be a period for council to comment, and then we will vote to introduce the ordinance. It will not be final adoption. All good? Okay. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, creating a new chapter 340 of the Township Code entitled Recreational Marijuana to ban the sale, cultivation, manufacturing, and testing of recreational marijuana within the Township of Brick.
This ordinance prohibits the retail sale, cultivation, manufacturing, and testing of marijuana products for recreational use within the boundaries of Brick Township. Once approved, the operation of marijuana retail establishments, marijuana cultivation facilities, marijuana product manufacturing facilities, and marijuana testing facilities will hereby be prohibited throughout the township. This ordinance is being presented on the recommendation of the Council's Land Use Committee. I have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by second. Motion by Councilwoman Young, seconded by Councilman Howard. Open to council.
Council President, could you tell the public who was on that land use committee on the council?
The Land Use Committee is Councilman Mumlo, Council Vice President Crate, and Councilman Howard.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council? Seeing none, roll call please.
Councilman Bosman.
I'm going to abstain on this on the first reading, and I'll give you my reasons why. I received my council package on Friday, February 22nd at 3 o'clock, which included a copy of the ordinance. At this point, I have not been included in any committee discussions regarding this ordinance. In order for me to make an informed decision, I reached out via email to administration and others to find out where the ordinance originated. Was it from the mayor, the council president, the BA, or the committee? My concerns was that if it had originated from a committee, I had not received any minutes as of yesterday morning. In response, I was informed yesterday that the Land Use Committee held a meeting on Tuesday, February 20th, or for the record, February 20th was last Wednesday. I was also provided with minutes of that meeting, but felt that they were very brief. I reached out to the planner regarding her presentation to the committee, and she did respond with a summary. My feelings as a councilman sitting here, in representation of all the residents of Brick, I am not satisfied with the information that I have received. Perhaps a referendum is in order to going forward. Thank you.
Councilwoman Patarero. Yes. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Howard.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are now on to public comment. Madam Clerk.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code Section 2-33D.
Thank you very much. And again, for the folks that are new here tonight, we do limit the comment to 5 minutes, and that's so that everyone who would like to have an opportunity to speak can be heard. So we will be limiting. There's a clock that'll ding, and you hear the ding. If you just finish whatever thought you were on and be able to move on and make sure that everyone is heard. Who would like to speak? Mr. Sluka? And again, for those who are new, if you would state your name and your address when you come to the microphone. Thank you.
Excuse me. I'm going to read my letter, which you all got, I presume. Mayor John Ducey, dated February 21st. Council President Andrea Zapsik, and the other council members, residents of Brick, the media around here, and the entire Shore community. A 14-foot noise pollution and safety wall, along with the shrubbery and other forestation is needed at Greenwoods, Greenbrier, Primrose, Briar Mills, Brick High School, Birchwood, and some other areas of Brick and Ocean County. What is needed according to EPA studies and other environmental studies is a wall of at least 12 feet with additional forestation of heavy thickness and height of 20 feet or more. The mayor stated in the reorganization meeting that we here in Brick are family. You know, your clock is nuts, by the way. Presuming that the speech was not just political utterance to sound good with no real concern for the people of the community, it seems that the mayor, the council administration would be speaking out and backing up the mayor's words at every opportunity. I remember hearing, family means a lot of different things to different people. To me, family is about love. It's about support. It's about improving the lives of your family members, the mayor said. If he was saying this only about his wife, parents, children, I could understand the silence about not fighting, not cajoling, and not suing the New Jersey Turnpike Authority commissioners into doing what is right for his family. But the mayor specifically said he has his immediate family, his family of township employees, and his largest family, the residents of Brick. At the time, I presumed he meant all the residents of Brick, and not a select few that lived on the waterfront or secluded streets away from the horrors of the Garden State Parkway. I presume he meant all the residents, including those who have been forced to breathe the toxins pouring into the neighborhoods, causing asthma, autism, COPD, and premature deaths of our seniors. I can almost hear those words he stated. No matter how small, there is always love. No matter how big, there is always support. And no matter how overwhelming, you always try to improve the lives of your family. We are Brick and we are family. So treat everyone with respect and kindness and treat them as if they were your family. That's what the mayor said. 2019 will be a great year for all of us. If this wasn't just political gibberish, it is time that the council, the mayor, and the entire administration back up those utterances. It is time for action. All should be speaking out. All council members individually should be speaking out. All should be speaking up within the township. All should be standing up and shouting out in order to let the commissioners know our family won't take it anymore. We may not need to hear of business openings or closings. We may not need to hear about sports teams, exploits and successes. We may not need to hear about photographs of rivers and Brick. We may not need to hear about a movie or fireworks display. But we need to hear from the mayor, the council, the entire administration that they care about the full family of Brick, whether they live in a retirement village, a condo complex, or any other impacted neighborhoods or secluded beachfront properties. We need to hear the mayor, the council, the administration speak up and show they care. Not just with words, but with through caring and action. A wall and increased forestation is needed, and so many studies have been brought before this council over the last few years and have been asked that they look them up themselves if they don't believe people like me, and let the council prove it to themselves and then speak up. The time for action is now. I leave it to our other guests. Thank you for your time. You're back. That's wrong. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Name first?
State your name and address, please.
Yeah, Moshe Zainis, Z-E-I-N-E-S, 112 Elmhurst Boulevard, Lakewood, New Jersey, 08701.
Thank you.
First of all, I just want to give a general shout out to this board. I attend, and I have attended, especially in the last month or so, a bunch of town meetings around the county. You have a large crowd over here, it's very nice, and I noticed a number of the people here spoke and asked you quick questions about the resolutions, and I also noticed that your council people explain what's on the resolutions, and you ask questions about why we paying for this, why we paying for that. I just wanted you to know, I've been at other towns where they do the whole thing in one sweep and no one knows what's flying. So it's a big plus over here, it really is. You have something going right there. I just want to ask two quick questions. One, I understand either you or someone else said that the ordinance which was introduced tonight was recommended to this committee, council, by your land use. I just wanted to know, the Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders, I believe they passed a resolution urging all their towns to adopt ordinances banning the sale of marijuana. Now, you introduced such a resolution tonight, and it'll be up for second reading on March 12th, but you're saying it was not requested, that it was recommended to you by your land use, and you didn't say anything about the county, so I just wanted to know if you would plan on sending that resolution, if adopted, to the county, because I believe they asked for them. I mean, I know other towns did, that's all I'm asking, that's question one.
Should we take it from
Typically, no, it's not legally required to do that. If you choose to, you can, but it's really just a courtesy if you do.
Sure, I'm not asking as a legal thing, I'm just asking as a courteous. The other question is, there's all this hype in the news about this so-called rain tax, that the governor may sign a bill that was passed by the Assembly and the State Senate, authorizing towns to create a stormwater management authority. Sorry, I have a stutter. There's a lot of hype about it. Some people are calling it the rain tax. Some people are saying this is what we need. Back and forth. Bottom line, I just want to know. Like I said, it hasn't been signed yet by the governor. If he doesn't sign it by a certain date, it'll be into law on its own. I just want to know if this town has thought about this yet. If the governor signs it into law, or if it becomes law on its own, did you expect that BRIC may create their own stormwater management authority?
Actually, the question was asked at the last meeting. The mayor had a wonderful explanation, so Mayor, would you
Not
come
here,
here
okay.
upstairs?
Sure, yes. I have no interest in burdening our taxpayers with extra dollars out of their pockets. We pay enough in property taxes, we pay enough in state income taxes and national income taxes, and everything else, that in order to put another tax obligation on our residents is something I have no interest in at all. That's not something that I would support.
Okay, thank you. And I have one minute, I'll be really brief. I just want to say, you said that in the next 2 weeks, it gives everyone the opportunity to look at the marijuana ordinance. I just urge the councilmen to also, if any media person calls you, pick up the phone and talk to them, so we'll get the word out, and hopefully the other towns will follow in your footsteps. And I thank you for taking the big first step tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Raise your hand, Ms. Paul.
And Carly, Team Green Meadow Boulevard. And thanks again for recognizing me. I don't come to support or not support the ordinance. I do come to say it's the first reading. Who read the ordinance? You read the ordinance in full? I didn't catch every word of it. 2 weeks from now, I believe, will be the next meeting. And I just want to venture to say to the people assembled here, it appears like you're doing things right. I don't believe that it prohibits having everybody speak on it tonight. I do know that you should be giving us the opportunity, everyone here, whether we're for or against, to give you the reasons why you should or should not. But I'll venture to say that 2 weeks from now, before you have really heard everything we have to say, and certainly before you have time to deliberate on what we say, you will already have made your minds up which way you're going to vote. This is not sufficient time, should have been published before this first reading as far as I interpret the documents, and having it published in the next 2 weeks, and then having people come at a meeting and talk to you and delve into why you're going to vote the way you do and get that feeling. So I urge everybody here tonight, take your 5 minutes, limited as it is, even when there's only 5 of us speaking, and voice your opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes. So I apologize for pointing at the people whose names I don't know.
Hi, good evening. Major Brian McDonald, live at 175 Chambers Bridge Road, Chambers Bridge resident. I
Oh, yeah, he's
just
got his hand up.
want to thank everybody for opening the beaches to the veterans, you know, it's really nice of you to do that. And, there is one little thing I'd like to ask, pretty cliche on top, and that is, if you, I go to the rec center and get season pass, it'd be nice, rather than come down to the beach every time with my Department of Defense Form 214, which is like an onion skin thing. It's a very, very fragile document and very important document. And I just like to know if I could take that once to the rec center, they give me a season pass, and it'll be a wonderful thing. Please.
If you take that document to the state, to either a state ID or, or driver's license if you drive, I'm not sure if you drive or not, but driver's license or state ID, they put a little notation right on it, and then that's all you have to show.
No,
It'll be right on
I've
there.
got my license with the little star.
Yep,
That's fine?
that's all you need.
But could I go and get the season pass, maybe?
Now, I gotta show that at the beach, because we keep track.
I'm at the beach,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I tried.
We don't need the actual form at all.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, who's next? Mr. Finelli?
First question, could I ask when the agenda went up on the website?
I certainly do acknowledge there was a delay. In our office, it was not posted until Monday morning.
Okay. What is the legal requirement? 24 hours or 48 hours?
There is no legal requirement that it be posted on the website.
Okay. Was this just a fluke?
It was.
Okay.
Our file.
Okay, thank you. Second question, just a clarification in my mind of what our attorney was saying to Mr. Fosman about people abstaining. I'm not gonna argue with you, I'm not an attorney, I just want to understand what you're saying.
Sure.
My understanding was if somebody abstains on voting on something, they don't have to give a reason why they abstain.
Correct.
And if they don't give a reason, it counts as a yes vote?
Correct.
What if they're conflicted?
Then they should give that explanation if they want it to be a negative vote or a non-vote, and it would be counted that way.
So it's up to the person up there that says I abstain to come forward and say I'm abstaining because I'm conflicted?
They abstain, or they can ask for their vote simply not to be counted. Either way, it would work the same way. That's correct.
Okay.
It's you know what, it comes from Robert's Rules of Order, and I'm not going to try to explain it because it's been built up sort of over centuries. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, I don't know if you could explain it to me. I mean, if somebody says I'm not gonna vote on this, but if they decide not to give you a reason, it counts as a positive vote. I'm sure most of the time we're not right at whether that one vote counts or not,
Yeah, but I should be clear that it's in the clerk's records as an abstention, not, it doesn't go down as a yes vote. It's marked off as an abstention, so it's sort of separate. The only time it's of real consequence is if there's a tie, you know, if there's like, let's say there's 5 people voting, and there's 2 and 2, and 1 abstention, then it would be counted as an affirmative for purposes of passage of the measure that's in front of the body. But other than that, it's really it's a non-factor.
The word we're looking for is, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Somebody abstains because they have a reason. They don't abstain just because they feel like it. They have a reason. And if they don't say, don't count my vote, it gets counted, then why did you abstain in the first place? Why didn't you just vote yes?
Yeah, I hear you. As I said, this is a Robert's, it really comes right out of Robert's rules, and they're convoluted rules, and I can't always explain it.
I said I wasn't going to argue with you.
Yes, sir, all the way in the back.
Torum, 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 torum.
Mayor, Council, my name is Stephen Reed. I live in Point Pleasant Beach. I am the Executive Director of New Jersey RAM. It is a group that basically is fighting the legalization of recreational marijuana. And I wanted to come here tonight. I was reading the news and wanted to come here and commend all of you for really putting your residents and your children first. I really think it's very good. I know I can't answer any questions about what's going on in Trenton, but I can tell you that you're on the right path. There's over 70 towns now that are just saying no. The more they learn about this recreational marijuana, they know that's not a good fit for their town. And again, I just want to commend you. Thank you.
Torum, 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 torum. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Stephen Brill, Evergreen Woods. There have been accusations during public comment portions of several prior town council meetings that people living in Evergreen Woods do not have facts to back up their need for a sound barrier. This is false. I have provided documentation in the past, as recently as a month ago. My documentation was obtained by filing open requests to Brick Township, New Jersey Department of Transportation, New Jersey Turnpike Authority, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, Army Corps of Engineers, and other agencies. This is a partial list of the open requests that I have submitted. Within this list are requests for environmental impact studies. Please note that a categorical exclusion was granted for the Garden State Parkway Interchange 91 project without considering the interrelated Garden State Parkway shoulder widening project. At a prior council meeting, a council person improperly used Evergreen Woods Evergreen Woods survey to show that only a small group of homeowners wanted the protection of a sound barrier. The survey was biased in its wording regarding the cost to residents. That survey was deemed invalid as the number of homeowners who responded did not meet the required percentage needed for action to be taken. I object to members of this council who sit back, as history has shown, use minimal effort to remedy this attack on the township's homeowners. Not only in Evergreen Woods, but other communities adjacent to the Garden State Parkway. They've used various tactics, ignoring our comments, interrupting us, averting your attention, smirking, etc. Only one council member has requested documentation and a letter from us in over 6 years of appearing before you with an offer to help. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. The only side that I'm on is to advocate, agitate, and motivate you to remedy this constant attack on many residents of Brick Township by the New Jersey Turnpike authorities and improper denial of sound barrier mitigation for Evergreen Woods. And this is just a partial documentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle, what was the top of your head? That's why I didn't call you by name, I couldn't see who it was.
Michelle Spector, AMJ Clinton Brick. I recently called the governor's office this afternoon. I wrote a letter explaining that he just signed a bill about having environmental devastation to lower income communities. And I just pretty much told him, back up what you said, and because we haven't seen it here. everybody's been impacted and nothing's being done. And nothing happened with the last governor's administration, and we're hoping that something happens this time. Unfortunately, the last person I spoke to in the governor's office was a total moron, and he pretty much said that what I have is an argument, and I have facts, I have all kinds of documentation, as Stephen suggested. We have tons and tons of documentation. And it was for arbitrary and capricious reasons that we were denied. And we're still working on trying to get something done for our community. Some children have gotten asthma, and there's a lot of children and adults that still can't get to sleep before 1 in the morning, which is very unfair. And I can't tell you what that's done to my short-term memory over the last 6 years. It's embarrassing. But according to the governor's office, it took 15 minutes for her to find. I sent an email, and Councilman Fosman actually sent a letter, and I was on the phone with her for 15 minutes, making sure she actually found it, so she's going to read it now. So thank you. I explained everything that happened from the DEP's hand in this, with the devastation of the Central Median for purported water quality, in which they're not really, they're not legally, what's the word? Pretty much they broke the law. They weren't allowed to demand that basins go into the Central Median. They're only allowed to demand those types of things like sewage treatment plants in case the power goes out and, you know, the manure has to go somewhere. So, I mean, and then I think some other area, but they stuck their nose in and they're pretty much getting away with it. And the Turnpike Authority went along with it, didn't really question it much. And so now there's been, there's noise, there's fumes, and then the last is that there's flooding, which is what happened to the senior community in August. It was devastated. So really, you have to stay on this. You don't need a word from us telling you to write. Just write, call them, and badger them, but get this done already. Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to speak tonight during public comment? Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
Hello, my name is Hugh Giordano. I live in Blackwood, New Jersey, Argyle Avenue. I'm a union representative for the United Food and Commercial Workers Union Local 152. Our union represents supermarkets, manufacturing, warehousing, truck driving, and also adult use and medical use cannabis workers. Although I know this is the first hearing and the first reading on this ordinance, I'm not sure if I will make it back to the next meeting because my job is so crazy, but I wanted to be able to speak on this. The UFCW has approximately 1.3 million members across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. And of those members, we represent thousands of cannabis workers in cultivation, in retail, in packaging, in testing. And I find this ordinance to be an attack on the working class, to be an attack on our labor union, and to be an attack on good jobs. I'll give you some examples. The big issue today is a living wage. And we have a lot of talk about the government creating these wages, right, in a minimum wage. These jobs create real-time wages in collective bargaining agreements. Starting pay in these jobs, I'll give you an example. The custodian makes $18 an hour, full benefits, retirement, and other types of benefits. A bud tender or medical tech, $21 an hour, full benefits, health care, retirement, and other benefits on top of that. A lead grower who makes up to $2,400 a week. These are jobs that create a new income and a new economy for Brick and New Jersey, and honestly the country. It is estimated that once it's legalized, it'll create 1 million jobs around the country, $132 billion in revenue. This is money that goes towards senior citizens, roads, and other infrastructure things, after-school programs for children. I know there's talk about we have to protect the children. The reality of it is keeping it banned in this township will only increase the black market. Could people drive to other places to get it? Of course they could. But the drug dealer is right here, right now. And they're not pushing just cannabis, they're pushing other drugs, heroin, and other pills on our children. The only way to stop and get these people off the street is to do it in a legal manner and to regulate it. I know a lot of people don't drink, but the reality it is, society is, it's a reality, people are going to drink, and that's why Prohibition failed. That's why the mafia became, because of Prohibition. So, when we're looking at this is a real economic booster for people. Now, if folks are against cannabis, that's fine. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to go to a unionized dispensary and buy your cannabis. You don't have to do that. The reality of it is keeping it illegal, keeping it banned from this township will only bring in the drug dealers to push it, because it's easy access. The other thing is, too, union workers also deliver alcohol. We don't see teachers out there giving out Budweiser to kids, do we? No, because you workers have good wages, good jobs. They're not going to risk it to give it to a 15-year-old kid. It's the same thing. Our union also works with the state to create an apprenticeship program, to make sure that these folks who are getting into this industry are well-trained, understand what they're doing. The issue, too, is a lot of folks that work in these dispensaries, whether it's the retail or the grow or the packaging, have 4-year degrees in chemistry, in horticulture. These are well-educated young adults who are looking to create jobs. These are folks who want to move into your neighborhood, folks who will boost the economy, who will spend money after they get their paycheck of a living wage to spend in small business areas that are affected by people not having the money to go out there and shop and go to restaurants and buy clothes. So these are real issues. The other issue, too, is this is an attack on women. In this town, they make $20,000 less than males, if you look at the census. So this creates jobs for women to boost their economic value as well. It's also, from Forbes magazine has shown that women in cannabis have a higher expectancy of being a leader within the industry. In the industry, in business overall, 25% of women are in executive positions. Only 5% are CEOs. In cannabis, it's much different. Cannabis provides an area of 63% of women are in executive levels and 36% are CEOs. So this is an outright attack on working class, on the labor movement, and the tax revenue. I know folks talked about the tax revenue isn't much to brag about, but that little bit of money can go a far way for a senior citizen who can't pay their property tax, for a person who can't afford their medication, for a kid who can't go to an after-school program. That money can be used. And it is the job of council and mayor, you have the league of municipalities, lobby the state if you want more. And the union is here to help you do that. If you want the help, we're here to do it. Do not be bullied. Thank you.
Yeah, he is.
Good evening. I once thought, like many of you, I was an ignorant idiot who had no idea what I was talking about. I used to speak negatively about marijuana and doubt its medical benefits. I would roll my eyes at the thought of it as a medicine, and was one of Uncle Sam's weed is a drug zombie. It was only after years of treating injuries through prescription pain medicine and other drugs, the single greatest enlightening moment of my life was the moment I chose to smoke marijuana over prescription pain medicines to treat my pain. Every veteran and American deserves access and the right to that form of medication. Me and several other disabled veterans were prepared to bring substantial investment and capital into the community by bringing a business in one of the very few growing industries in this nation that's job creating, while technology continues to destroy and disrupt the labor force. Marijuana is medicine, and the community deserves affordable access to this. Upon legalization, these laws border on our rights as citizens. In no way can you stop marijuana from being smoked if it's in a legalized environment. You're just hanging yourself on any potential revenue. Townships that ban this will be unlikely to take from the pot of tax dollars that this industry will bring to stimulate communities. Our school districts are crumbling. Everyone at this desk has failed the best interests of the taxpayers and homeowners of Brick. Over the next decade, the tax structure's count will come down further pressure. As property values tend to decline and the school district collapses, I have no children. I went to school in this community. In the event of becoming a parent, the first thing I would likely have to do is escape the disaster you've created here. Schools aren't getting any better, and the only potential tax increasing business we could have to bring money into the township infrastructure we're going to ban. Have any of you been to a dispensary? Raise your hand if you have, recreational or medical. Okay, so you've never been to one, okay? I've been.
One. We got one.
Oh, you've been to one in New Jersey? No, Las Vegas, okay.
Wow, you really had fun.
I don't think you should be allowed to vote on such an act until you see firsthand several facilities of both types. You're voting and deciding on something blindly without knowing the topic of it at all. If you're going to ban dispensaries, I demand we add to this bill barring all establishments from serving and selling alcohol. How many DUIs have come from popular bars in our community? How many police hours are spent at River Rock and Beacon regularly? How many police calls are due to domestic violence issues from alcohol-related instances, not marijuana-related instances? Another question, why does our town have police vehicles directing individuals onto the roadway after an American Legion party on Mount Logan Road, or a so-called family event such as Summerfest where alcohol is being consumed? I wonder how many of these individuals are drinking and get into the car and directed onto the roadway by one of our own police force. Question for the attorneys in the room. If one of these patrons left the American Legions or Summerfest under the influence and were let on the roadway by one of our police officers, if that individual crashes or kills someone, is the township directly responsible? Should we be taking a risk at a facility we know liquor is being consumed at? That practice should be ended before we talk about hypothetical, exaggerated dangers to the community. Today is February 26, 2019. I want that documented now. So when it does happen, if there is a fatality, I told you today. Your actions are directly terminating jobs for veterans and individuals with disabilities. I was prepared to hire a majority of my staff as veterans or individuals with disabilities. You should apologize for those lost opportunities to come to the community and for many other entrepreneurs to bring those opportunities here. That capital won't go into improving one of the many abandoned commercial properties littered in the town. Those properties will continue to deteriorate and only get worse. Great move for the benefits of the taxpayers, and only reassures me to sell my house before the situation gets any worse. I have one question for you, the attorneys. Are you prepared for when an entrepreneur like myself or a religious organization sues you and believes you're violating their rights with your extremely biased and misinformed decision after the state finally allows this? How much taxpayer money are you prepared to set aside to battle these because of this ordinance? This is one of the only growing businesses in the country. Technology ain't coming here. Silicon Valley ain't coming here. That's one of the only other growing industries. And marijuana would bring some forms of tech jobs and possibly engineers and other forms of capital and money to the area. And you're just banning the only possible growing industry. I challenge you to tell me of one industry that's making more money that you can bring into the community now, because there isn't any.
Yeah, all right. Nice, brother.
Roxanne Jones, resident of Brick, New Jersey, who lives off of, I live in the Littleton section next to the IHOP. First of all, as far as, voting against marijuana being against women, well, let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that when a woman smokes marijuana, she is very allergic and vulnerable to sexual assault. Number two, also, as a former member, by the way, of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, when I used to work at Grand Union, I even went on the lockout.
I'm going next.
I would also like to state that as far as bringing money in, well, if marijuana is such a big money bringer in, why is it that California has had budget problems? And even Brown said that, nobody said that we were supposed to not come, supposed to be a big money maker. And why has Colorado, a couple of years ago, found itself under budget, and they don't have that state-of-the-art, what do you call it, school system that they said that the marijuana was supposed to bring. And as far as people also, thirdly, being intoxicated after Summerfest or what have you, well, intoxication is against the law. How can anybody bring forth a law that says, hey, let's have another thing that makes you intoxicated? after, say, Summerfest, which is supposed to be a family event, or any other event. And we have enough problem with booze. Now you're gonna introduce something else? You know?
Yes.
I mean,
Thank you.
really, folks?
Yes.
Why are you doing that?
Yes.
We also have boating problems with people who, you know, do things under the influence of alcohol while boating. Now you're gonna throw something else in legally? And I remind you also, there is no sobriety test, unlike with alcohol. How is anybody supposed to know accurately whether somebody is intoxicated on this pot if it's legalized?
This isn't a new drug.
And also, I would also like to further point out, you know, someone mentioned domestic violence. Well, how about this? Somebody starts a fire in his or her house because he or she is passed out with a marijuana cigarette. Somebody is not, you know, doing, you know, what he or she is supposed to because of intoxication. How in the world can you consciously legalize intoxication, more intoxicant? Now let me tell you something, people. I don't know about any of you, but I have relatives who have unfortunately dealt with chemical issues, as they say, drug abuse, including one who's a recovering alcoholic. Ladies and gentlemen, a substance
I'm
abuse
going next.
problem is a substance abuse problem.
Whoa.
You know, it's not fun. It's not good. It is just ridiculous that you would even be considering legalizing this. And anyone who thinks that this is not going to jack up our our automobile insurance, I don't see how anyone's going to miss it. I mean, after, you know, the opportunity, the insurance companies, and, you know, it just isn't right. And as far as industry is concerned and how to improve our infrastructures and what have you, well, we can look and find other ways of doing it, starting with cutting waste. And of course, letting our governor know that it was downright ridiculous to cut our school aid when charities have to collect school supplies for our school teachers. This is, you know, that is all. Thank you very much.
My name's Lefty Grimes from Bayonne, New Jersey, and I'm honored to follow such ignorance. That was very ignorant because, let me tell you something. I'm on cannabis. I had surgery last month. I had a 2-level fusion on my neck. I took 0 opiates. 0. I had them right next to me the whole night. I didn't take them. The doctor told me to take them. The nurse made sure, take her opiates. I didn't take 0 opiates because of this man right here. He inspired me because he had his stomach taken out or his intestines taken out, and he only took 1 dose of morphine. So when I hear ignorance, I'm going to call it out. That's disgusting what I just heard. Because let me tell you something. The reason why cannabis is illegal is because of, first of all, there was white flight in the 60s. You can Google this. White flight in the 60s. They all came down the shore. They built council meetings. The KKK actually built council meetings, town halls, down in this area. Oceanport, they built the KKK built the Oceanport town hall. There is KKK all over here. Our government said things like this. In the walls of Congress, these things were said. Reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men. That was said in Congress. It was said to Congress. You can Google this. Reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men. That's shocking to me. We're going to continue the policy of the 20th century? We're going to continue the racism of last century? Are we going to move on? There are over 100,000 marijuana smokers in the USA. Most are Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz and swing, result from marijuana usage. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with Negroes and others. You can Google all this. Smoke a joint and you're likely to kill your brother. The primary reason to outlaw marijuana is its effect on the degenerate races. Who are they talking about? Marijuana leads to pacifism and communist brainwashing. That's last century's thinking. If you pass this ordinance, it's pathetic. You're on season 1, episode 2. The rest of America is on season 8, episode 5. Are you kidding me? Gotta wake up. You need some more, man, I don't know. You need some more white guilt up here. That's what you need. A little more white guilt up in here. After what white people have done to black people in the last century, yeah, we need some white guilt up in here. We don't have that. We got KKK down here, building town halls. Disgusting. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Painful. Painful. Hurtful.
Good evening. Mike Nicolais, resident here at Brick. Well, a couple things I want to state here. I have a story. I'm a medical marijuana patient here in New Jersey. I have a story of getting off of opiates. I had an opiate addiction. It lasted over a decade. It was really bad. It got to the point where I was actually shooting heroin. I was on and off heroin, and when I was off of it, I was on the methadone clinic. It was a pathetic existence. It did nothing for me. It stripped the personality completely from me. I was home drooling on my bed, not being productive in any way, shape, or form. It took everything from me. It was a full-time job to stay an addict, and it wasn't pleasurable. I tried to get clean many different times. The will to get clean was always there. The traditional methods that always existed didn't do it for me. The rehabs, the methadone clinic was really bad for me. I was on 130 milligrams. It's a pretty heavy dose to be on. At the time, I started realizing, I got to a point where I realized that I could take cannabis and decrease the opiate usage. So when I realized that, I started taking the cannabis in the morning when I was supposed to take my 130 milligram prescribed dose. I would get halfway through the day and I would realize that I didn't even take the methadone prescribed. And then I started realizing that I could decrease the dose from the medical cannabis. At the time, I didn't have the card for medical cannabis. So the program being very restricted, very limited, hard to be a part of, I had to navigate because I wanted to get off the opiates, and I realized that the cannabis was going to be the X factor for me to do it. I was always all in, and I just needed something else, and I couldn't do it with just abstinence, the traditional rehab programs, the NA. If you're using anything, this is why people, in my mind, are dying. There's record-breaking numbers year after year. Opiate overdoses, record-breaking numbers. We're on par for the 5th year in a row. I don't advocate for recreational. That's not what I do. I go around with patients here and we advocate for patient access. I think here tonight, I'm going to take a stance here and I'm going to say I'm very much for recreational. And the reason why is because the program, when I was in the position to try to get off the opiates, they didn't have opiate use disorder as a qualifying condition. So I had to get on the program so I could be in compliance. And I was able to get off all opiates. I am now drug-free. I have I use no opiates, no medications. I use the cannabis as a treat-all. It's the only medication I'm on. I'm over a year clean now, and I owe a lot of it to the cannabis. So recreational, what that would provide for somebody who doesn't have the money, who doesn't have the availability, the time, everything to be able to get involved in this over-restricted program, what it would do for somebody is give them an opportunity, make it a little easier for them to get off the opiates. Because for me, I was all in, and I had to navigate through the program because they didn't have the qualifying conditions added. Now the state recognizes that opiate use disorder, opiate syndrome, whatever you want to call it, is a qualifying condition for the medication. This is medication that is saving lives. It saved my life. It gave me my life back. The heroin, the methadone clinic, it took all the productivity out of me. I was a shell of a human being. Now, the marijuana made me active. I'm active again. I go all over the state with my friends here, fighting for medical access for this plan. And that's what it is. It's a plan. You cannot die from it. Remember, you can't die from this plan. You cannot overdose from it. Can't happen. I tried to do it. You go to sleep. You get a good night's sleep. I think we need to take this serious. If we all actually care about the opiate epidemic, we're going to try to give access to marijuana to everybody. That's what we're going to want to do. I care about this epidemic. I go all over the state. I go with meetings. I talk to mothers who are dealing with families in addiction. They're looking for answers. People who are broken, they want solutions. I don't know why we're doing everything we can do to come up with an ordinance that doesn't really serve any sort of purpose. If we're really trying to do things for the community, what we want to do is curb this opiate epidemic. It's horrible. It just keeps going. We want to make cannabis access. We want to make access to cannabis available to everybody. So I'm going to take that stance tonight here. I'm going to say that I think what we need to do is we don't want to ban any marijuana. To me, marijuana is medicine. It's all medicine. To me, that's what it is. Marijuana is medicine. So I think if there was recreational marijuana, there would be somebody in my position who had a little bit of an easier way to try to get off the opiates. So I'm here to tell you that I'm drug-free, I'm clean, I owe a lot of it to marijuana. Whether you want to call it recreational cannabis, whatever, it's got me off opiates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Mikey.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak tonight?
Would you like that?
Seeing,
You didn't?
I'm sorry.
Why? It was good.
Jeff Oaks,
It was good.
60 Pemberton Avenue. I don't even know where to start. There was so much covered here tonight. But I did listen to the podcast, Mayor, today. And I think I'd like to address the stigma, probably among other things. I have 5 minutes. I don't know where this is going to go. I speak off the top of my head. It seems to work best that way for me. The mayor today made a comment about Brick being a family town. I have stage 4 cancer. I use medical cannabis. I don't consider recreational cannabis or medical cannabis. It's one plant. The plant doesn't have a mind like we do. It doesn't understand it. So I treat it scientifically. And the fact of the matter is, just like the CBD that everyone's running to the store to buy, THC is also a component, and that's beneficial health-wise also. There's a lot of athletes that want it. These are people that are not sick. There's people that are in training for sports, people that are just after general health, and people that want to use it for, well, why wait till you get cancer when you can use it, we'll call it for this purpose, recreationally. Put the bottle of alcohol away and substitute with something that's beneficial for your health. Why wouldn't you do that? And I don't know why the town of Brick, being a family town, wouldn't understand that and recommend, or not recommend, but kind of promote something that's a more healthy choice to reduce stress or anxiety after you come home from work. A lot of people that I know, and I'm sure a lot of folks in Brick, they'll reach for the bottle. And we know the result of that. And some folks spoke tonight about the effects of cannabis, and it's, I can tell you, truthfully, I've been smoking all day, so if anybody was drinking all day, they probably wouldn't be at the meeting tonight. So I think that the communities in New Jersey need to somehow get past this stigma between alcohol and cannabis. There's a lifestyle change that is going on. Alcohol is starting to be looked at as, well, for what it is. It's not healthy. I have tumor in my liver as we speak right now. And I don't suggest anybody to abuse their body with alcohol. We've been doing it for years. And if anybody wants to know why they have a drinking habit and why we have alcohol in the first place, it's because back years ago, they didn't have the water systems that we had, and there was a lot of bad things in the water, so it was actually safer to drink, or I guess to use alcohol with the water to basically kill bacteria. That's one of the original uses for alcohol. But now we use it now to douse our sorrows from work, and that leads into more problems at home. It leads to more problems in the workplace. We talk about drugs in the workplace, the war on drugs. Drugs in the workplace. I spent my whole career as in heavy construction. And truthfully, I can tell you there was a lot of absence from alcohol after lunch. And I knew the folks that smoked cannabis, and I can tell you it really wasn't an issue. For the same reason, it's not an issue for me sitting right here tonight, because I didn't drink all day, I smoked all day. I can function. My friend Mike here says it helps you to function. It's good for you. It's not the demon. The demon is alcohol. The demon is opioids, which you have. Matter of fact, I think 3 or 4 months ago when I was here for the medical zoning board hearings, there was we spoke to an officer outside. There were 3 overdoses in the time that we were here in this meeting. So there's a very serious problem here in Brick. The answer to it is medical cannabis, and the answer also to that problem is recreational cannabis, so that people have that option, and they won't reach into the medicine cabinet for their wife's prescription of something else, or ask a friend for something to cope with the sprained ankle that they got at work. They can just go down to the dispensary down the street and get a container of recreational marijuana and continue to function and medicate with what we call here tonight recreational cannabis. So yes, the families, and I have 11 seconds here, the families that use cannabis are offended there. We would like at least to have the respect of families that use alcohol. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Here comes Johnny. Yeah, it's good. Let's go to bed.
My name is John Edmonds. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I'm also a marijuana user. I'm also a disabled veteran of Vietnam, and until I started using marijuana, I was trying to drown my sorrows. Now that I've quit marijuana in August of 17, they were going to put me in a facility, as they call them, because my PTSD had gotten that bad. And last month, we discontinued my therapy because of my marijuana usage. I'm pro-medicinal marijuana, but if you lump this together as recreational, because medicinal must have packaging and create production facilities. And as I understand the resolution now, they're all lumped together. If medicinal is totally separate from recreational, people get better on medical marijuana. And I'm here to say that if you vote this resolution into law, then I would expect you to go dry next. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak this evening? Yes, sir.
Nice.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Jeffrey King. I live in Eatontown, and I'm here to speak against this proposal. This proposed ordinance to ban adult use and social use cannabis and spiritual use. I think it does perpetuate a stigma that is based in mistruths and racism, and I think it's oppressive to poor people, and I think it's a pretty sad thing that we would want to perpetuate that and not actually speak to the contrary, try to help people who've been harmed by the war on drugs, people who've been arrested because of the color of their skin. I think that we need to change the rhetoric to more love and compassion and kindness. And if you disagree with that, then I think I should at least appeal to you to be consistent. I would also say the alcohol embrace by our culture with the Super Bowl and with Summerfest, which supposedly family-friendly, children-friendly events, we have alcohol center stage as a sponsor of those events. And I think that's wrong. Regardless of what you do with cannabis, I think we need to look at alcohol in a much less friendly and kind way, because it is a deadly, toxic, poisonous substance that people do ruin their lives and their family, their community, addiction and death. So I would definitely urge you to make this a dry town. If you will go ahead and ban social and adult responsible use of cannabis, then you need to be consistent and ban all alcohol, close all the bars, all the packaged goods stores, and make your DWI 0.0, zero tolerance, zero, and be consistent, and that's not hypocritical then. If you want to say no to the jobs and the real estate rateables and the development of the economy, that's something I would disagree with, but then you should also end all the economic gain from alcohol. All the money that you get from the fees and permits, property taxes, you should reject that and while I'm speaking in that vein, we have addictive opiates all around us in this country. Are we going to give up that revenue too? Are we willing to do that and be consistent and not hypocritical? Because otherwise, you're just flying in the face of our country stands for the freedom of the individual to make their own decisions with what they do with their body, as long as they're not harming others. We have to work on real problems like sex trafficking. I don't know what goes on here, and I just think it's horrible. In my community, I urge them, yes, in my backyard for cannabis, because it does help people. It heals wounded people. But no against all this other horrible stuff. Just be consistent, please. Be compassionate, be fair and kind. Do your research. If you're not sure, you don't have to go ahead with this. You can do it in the future. The bill hasn't been passed in Trenton yet. We don't know what it's going to look like. I'd hope you would advocate for home growing if you don't want any stores, so that patients can at least have access. There's going to be delivery in the town. You know it's going to be here, but you're not going to get any revenue. It's just inconsistent. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's kind of myopic. It's short-sighted. You're thinking with a solution to the problems that hasn't worked, just doubling down. That's the definition of insanity. You have to think outside the box and come up with a new idea. Thank you.
Here we go.
Name is Dmitry Fyodorov, former resident of Mamie Drive here in Brick. I was arrested a year and a half ago for cultivating here in the township, and it ruined my life. What I wanted to tell you first and foremost is you're not ready to make this decision. You're not educated, you don't have the experience. I challenge anybody here to tell me the difference between industrial hemp and the term marijuana. You don't know, and you're going to arrest people with industrial hemp on these streets, and you're going to put them through the court system, and you're going to ruin their lives, and you're going to find out after 6 months backed up in the laboratory that you've wasted a lot of time and money, resources, police officers, judges, tax dollars. Get educated, more than the people that are actually working in this community, to make the decision on behalf of those people that are working in this community before you ruin another person's life and chase them out of Bricktown and have them go to Colorado for their family's needs or their civil liberties. Please, do some diligence in getting educated. It's your jobs. That's what we pay you for. Okay? That's it. Thank you. Excuse me. And I am the founder of the Church of Cannabis Sativa. Just in case you need to exercise the religious freedom.
Nice.
Amen.
All right.
Anyone else this evening? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you. I'm not going to talk about whether I think somebody should use marijuana or not. I think the biggest issues here are.
I'm sorry, my name's Eeyore Buck, 28 Lagoon Drive.
Thank you.
In Brick. I'm not going to tell you whether you should use marijuana or not. That's not my place. I think the issue is that the medical use and recreational are getting intertwined. My uncle and my godfather, who just passed away 2 months ago, suffered from multiple sclerosis for over 4 years. He was diagnosed before there were the treatments there are today for that disease. Medical marijuana was one of the few things that helped him ease his pain. He was constantly in pain. I have a customer who's had 3 major back surgeries, fusions, and whatnot, and using medical marijuana allows him not to take as much opiates for his pain to get around. My issue with it is the proposed site for dispensary and the recreational use that's getting intertwined with it. I believe it'll bring my property value down. I'm half a mile from the dispensary. There's a school close to it. I have to take Mount Oak Road to get to my house. In the summer, the traffic's unbearable already because of all the families going to the shore, the beach. In the morning, if I leave my house early enough, I'm behind school buses. So putting this site there against a wildlife refuge in an area already high traffic, I don't agree with. If individuals want medical marijuana, I have no problem with that. Put it somewhere else. And I don't know if they're still here. There are a couple veterans here.
Yep. Thank you for your service. But again, I feel the issue is it's getting intertwined, and if you want to compare it to alcohol, then there needs to be a system to test and regulate, and consequences. If somebody gets pulled over under the influence of marijuana and alcohol, both should be the same, or some kind of system. The last point that I wanted to make is I'm a business owner, and I feel that a lot of the recreational proponents for it, they try to use the ploy that they're helping people, but I feel it's just misguided and it's just an attempt for them to make money. As far as how it doesn't affect your judgment or your impairment, I run an automotive business. I've gone through 3 employees last year that were constantly under the influence of marijuana. They can't operate heavy machinery. They can't function. That might not mean for everybody. There might be individuals that can function, but that's my experience with it. So again, if medical use, I have no problem with that. Do it the right way. Get your prescription card. Maybe there needs to be a better system with that, but I don't want that on my side of the town next to where my nieces and nephews play and next to schools and where it's going to make traffic for me. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, close public. You're on to council comments. Mrs. Bergen.
I have nothing, thank you.
Mayor?
Thank you. Said a couple of things. We had a long process of, we need a water allocation permit based upon, we have so many parks in town and athletic fields, everything, and we were spending, a lot of money on water because to keep everything green. So a few years ago, we applied for a water allocation permit, and we got the good news in 2 weeks ago, I think, that we were granted the water allocation permit. So now we have the ability to water our fields and keep them in perfect condition, soccer fields, lacrosse fields, all of our parks around town. And it was a lot of hard work from a lot of people here at Town Hall that I just want to say thank you. It's one of the things we're trying to get accomplished for a long time, and to see it come to fruition just shows all the hard work pays off for everybody in our engineering department and Ms. Bergen, for all your hard work. Thank you very much. The second is just give an update on the Food Town site, our long-awaited sports dome with our indoor fields, our basketball court, our indoor wave, our flow rider. March 13th is going to be our final site plan before the planning board. So I'm looking forward to that hearing as well and getting through that process and moving on to the state and CAFRA. Thank you.
She's kind of busted.
Mr. Starkey?
No, nothing.
That's really alcohol. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Congratulations to the students of the month. After receiving a copy of email sent to Governor Murphy by Michelle Spector, serving as a representative for the Evergreen Woods, I felt the need to also reach out to the governor regarding your plight. I have not heard back from them yet, and I urge the council, my colleagues, and the mayor to reach out as well to help those people in their plight. On a couple of things before I get to some serious stuff here. On Monday night, February 18th, my wife and I attended the Young Rotary Comedy Night at the VFW in Anderson Road. It was a lot of fun, and it was really packed. And on Saturday, February 23rd, my wife and I attended the Bobby Bucher Foundation dinner dance. The event was held at St. Dominic's. There must be at least 400 people in attendance, people's families who are dealing with horrendous illnesses, and I urge everyone to try to attend the event next year. And I just have, through the council president, Greenbrier 1 Engineering, is there any report yet from for flooding over there? Is there anything that came in yet?
We're waiting. It was 6 months on February 14th, and we're going to make a formal request to say, why aren't you here giving us a presentation, at the very least giving us a report? It's ridiculous that it's taking this long.
He's having fun.
Through the council president, could I get a copy of that report? when it comes in?
Yeah, sure, why would I not? Don't give it to me. I don't know what's going on over in the county, but they're taking forever, and it's absolutely ridiculous. The people in Greenbrier are waiting for 6 months, they're living in the kind of range, they think it's the Parkway, and they want to know if there's a risk. So please tell us, county.
Also, our budget focus, they're coming in on March 12th. Can we get them, why can't we get them in earlier? Because on March 12th, we're actually having the budget presentation. I'm getting the budget book the same day as we're gonna be presenting the town. I have no time to go over it. I need to have that ahead of time. Anybody through the council?
Okay, outside. Hey guys. We got a good show out. Good. Oh, hey. We're recording each other. You can't get no weed here. 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 Barnegat, Berkeley, Bridgeton, Bridgewater, Brigantine, Carlton, Carlstadt, Clifton, Cranberry, East Rutherford, Elmwood Park, Emerson, Fairhaven, Freehold, Garfield, Hasbrook Heights, Hawthorne, Willet, Lodi, Freehold, Hazlitt, Mawa. Oh!
You can't get no weed.
I can't get.
You can't get no weed here. They got it built. No, you know what? Look. See how that's it's like a boom boom. There's Jeffrey King.
You can't get no weed here. You can't get no weed here. That was too much. Too much. You can't get no weed here. Hey, I can't come up there with my wheelchair.
Backwards, upside down dunk, man.
Yeah. All right, buddy. That was great. Didn't even speak. Didn't even talk.
I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Oh, Reed was pissed.
Oh, here comes Diaz, man. He was talking some mad shit.
What was he saying?
I don't know, but get your camera ready.
That's Tom.
Get your camera out. He's talking dead smack.
About what?
I kept saying, I can't hear you. And he said, you heard me, and I really couldn't hear him.
That could be the last.
Come on.
He's gonna go home and type and talk.
Type and talk.
Go home and type and talk, yeah. Here's your chance.
Could be the last meeting if they don't.
Now you got the
don't
camera
control
on
it.
it, so I don't give a shit.
Look at him. 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 I know. Isn't it great? I know. Isn't it great? You triggered? Are you triggered? You triggered, little lady? No, no, no. Oh, oh, oh. You sound like a whiner. Look at this guy. Yeah, go have sex tonight. Go have sex. Go have sex. Go have sex tonight with your ugly wife. Go have sex.
And your methadone sucks.
Yeah, bitch.
That's the methadone guy right there with the cowboy hat.
You hide behind the camera, dude. Yeah. That's all you do. You hide behind
Yeah,
the camera.
that's my job, asshole. It's my job, asshole. 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 It's my job, assholes.
Go home
Assholes.
And have some wine. Go home and dribble
Cunt.
some wine. You take
No, I help patients. I help patients. I'm here for help patients. Nah, you're a fucking cunt too. Fuck you, cunt. You're a cunt.
It's a farce. That's all you want.
Listen to this cunt.
All of a sudden you give a fuck about you. All of a sudden you care. No, she cares. She wants to know what happens.
You're both cunts. You're both two cunts.
She cares and you don't. No, I do. Okay, figure it out.
You don't give a shit.
She don't
Get out of here. You're full of shit.
Go dribble some
Son,
wine.
liar.
Go cut some
Liar.
cubes.
Liar. Listen to her. Look at
Why
her.
don't you just go
Listen to her.
home? Why don't you just go home?
Yeah, go home. Go home and sing your little song at home. You triggered? Are you triggered?
This is Mr. Diaz who didn't want to speak.
Yeah.
This is the
You got a lot
class
to say
act.
out here.
This is the
You got a lot
class
to say
act
out here,
who didn't
jerk
want
off.
to
You
speak.
got a lot
Yep.
to say now.
Yeah, all
Why
of a
don't you
sudden,
say
right? Blah,
jerk
blah,
offs,
blah,
two
blah,
jerk
blah.
offs.
He wants to go home and catch a sip of some alcohol.
Two jerk
Go
offs.
home and have a scotch on the rocks, bro. That's what you
You
need.
guys are gonna fucking cry in the next 2
Well,
weeks.
who cares? You don't care about us. But you don't care about us. Yeah, so go home.
You're jerk
So
off.
go home.
Two jerk offs. Two jerk offs.
And you, good
You're
point.
jerk
You're not
offs.
even a tax-paying resident. Oh, really? I'm not not a taxpaying resident.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? When
Go
you
bang
pay-
your ugly
when you
wife.
pay
Go
rent,
home and
guess
bang your
what?
ugly
Guess
wife.
what? Guess what? When you pay
Go
rent,
home and bang
guess
your
what?
ugly
That money
wife.
goes to the landlord,
You're
and the
ugly.
landlord
You're so
pays the
ugly. Look at
taxes.
you.
What they're
Look at
doing.
you.
Oh,
Look at
so
you.
since then, I don't
So
know what my landlord's
ugly.
doing with my money. I don't pay
Douchebag.
taxes. This
Shit
cocksucker-
dick. You're a
you know
shit
what this
dick.
cocksucker just said?
You're a shit dick.
This pile of shit said that I pay no
Shit dick.
taxes because I pay
You're a
because I'm
shit
a renter.
dick.
My fucking landlord pays property. Not you. Not you. He said, but you don't know my landlord.
Damn it, I hate having this wheelchair. I gotta go out to the ramp. Fucker! Shit dick. Shit dick. Shit dick.
Go home.
Look at this shit dick. Look at this shit dick right here.
Go home, Mr. Diaz. Go home, Mr. Diaz. Or what? Or what? You tell me. Or what?
This is great.
Go home or what? You're the one that's in my face, Mr. Diaz.
This is great.
Go home or what? You're the one in my face, Mr. Go Diaz. Home or what? Why do you act all threatening?
Go
You
home
can just
and
go
Why didn't you speak in the meeting? Why didn't you speak in the meeting?
This guy starts walking outside.
You got a lot to say.
He's got a lot to. I said.
Back the fucking video when we were
Fuck
walking
you,
out.
you piece of shit.
Fuck me.
Just go to your car. Walk to your car.
Shit dick.
What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, of course. You're all big and tough now that the police are
Oh, because you. Fuck you.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this jerk off. Look at him. Look at this jerk off.
Typical prohibition.
Look at this jerk off. Look at this jerk off. Look at him. Look at him. Look at his jerk off. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
We're moving back.
Look at this guy. Really?
He's triggered.
That's what you're gonna do to people?
Check his pockets.
Yeah.
Check his
Check him for
pockets.
opiates.
Yeah, check
him for
see what he
booze.
has in his pocket. Turn him upside
Wow,
down.
what a jerk.
Turn him upside down.
Wow, what a jerk.
He's acting like he's on pills.
What a jerk, man. Wow.
It's like an aggressive psychopath.
He's acting like he's on pills. Get your car, go. That's what he's gonna hide behind. That's my right, right? Yeah, well, we don't like it.
Come on, Mike. I can do that. Okay.
Come on, Mike.
Go over that side, away from here, and I'll
Come on, they're going to be biased to the marijuana people when they're going to take care of the drunks. I've seen this before. You're going to take them to the side, like Linda Bradley and Walsh. You're going to take them to the side and let them go.
Why didn't he talk?
How'd you get here?
How'd you get here? How'd you get here?
Talk to us. It's none of your business. Yeah, of course not. Can you guys? He's talking to me. He just asked me a question. I responded. I backed up.
Can you do me the favor, both of you? I'm asking nicely. Please go away. Let me get his side of the story. I will get your side of the story. I will speak with everybody, and we're going to part our ways. Fair? Can you do me that favor?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you. So if you guys can go over there, you can
Sure. I'm gonna
continue
get my
to
wheelchair.
record.
I'm out of here.
Just please give me a moment.
I can load my chair.
Without shouting over each other. To get his side. I will
What are you gonna waste the cops' time for now? Really? Gonna waste the cops' time? They got better shit to do than your crap, Alex, or whatever the hell your name is. Idiots. Oh, this is fun. What a bunch of jerks. This is too funny.
Well, the motherfucker was giving me the evil eye.
Me
all the way
too.
through the
Me
meeting.
too.
I'm like,
I'm loving this.
that guy.
I couldn't let him walk by me. I had to say something. Alex? Is his name Alex?
Diaz.
Oh, Diaz. Diaz. That's right. Diaz. That's right.
I don't have anything to say. Nothing to do with
I'm
it. You
just
don't have anything to say? Okay. What could I do? Me and this gentleman here, we were exiting, and we had a couple little brief
Just
words.
so you guys know, I'm active with a body camera.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Nice.
We like that.
Nice.
And we are going to document this on a report. We're going to need everybody's information. Okay, we're going to document it. And after I hear both stories, we'll determine what needs to be done. I'll advise both of you how to sign complaints against the other.
I'm not going to waste your time,
I'm
sir.
not wasting time doing that. If he wants to do that,
I'm not going to waste your
Okay,
time. You
but
got better
we
stuff
are
to
going
do.
to document this on a police report. It's going to require you giving us your information, as him as well. and if you guys want to sign complaints
No,
again.
I'd rather talk about how I advocate for you guys
Okay,
to get your
no,
cards.
I appreciate it. I don't know what happened. I'm just trying to find
Yeah.
out.
You
guys would love this stuff.
Yeah, we actually advocate for you guys to get your cards because you guys are on, you guys don't get union protection that you should. So we advocate for job protection for you because your union doesn't. It's one of the fights we're fighting for you
I
guys.
really appreciate that. But right now.
But I'm done.
No, okay. If you're done.
No, I don't need to speak. Are we gonna meet anywhere? Are we gonna go eat something? What are we doing? You want to go to a diner? Yeah.
Can you just give me your
Yeah. Let's not waste their time.
talk about dinner after?
Yeah. Let's not waste their
And
time.
then-
I don't waste the cops' time. I feel bad. I mean, this. I'm not gonna sign complaints. It's stupid. It's just stupid.
Wasting time.
Love it though.
I thought that guy was going to throw a punch.
I know he almost did. I fucking triggered him.
He was going. I just come in at 8
I triggered him. I'm like, you got a lot to say, don't you? Why didn't you speak? And he came back. He got in Mike's face. He's like, right in his face. They came right up in his face. Yeah. Yeah, I got it on here too. I got it.
So stupid. He keeps staring at us.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We were having a good time. I was filming them. They were like so unhappy. I'm like, Gina, aren't you happy? And me and Mike laughed. I'm like, this is great. This is awesome. Best thing ever.
She don't talk, does she?
No, they had nothing to say tonight. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's weird.
No comment. On social media, though, they have a lot to say.
A lot to say about podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go load my wheelchair up. I think you want to go to a diner or get something to eat, maybe?
We ate.
You ate?
Yeah, I got to go to work in the morning. Oh, God. So.
Actually, I might have to leave, too. Oh.
I just want to make sure our friends are okay, that's all.
All right, let me load up so I can get out of here.